South Africa has only had one landline operator, and that's Telkom, and they are often accused of being too expensive. Now, at the moment, a newcomer, Neotel, has been digging on the ground so they can install cables and start operating. They promise to be the second home telephone operator. Now, the land of telecommunications is proving to be a competitive one at the moment in the Southern African nation, with the introduction of Otel. Joining us in the studio this evening is Otel CEO, Mr. Mohammed Patel. Thank you very much for joining us here in Rendezvous Africa. Otel, tell us more.
Otel is a telecommunications company which was established when ICASA released licenses to previously known as vans. They have given vans the permission to sell telecommunication services, and at the same time establish their own networks, whether it can be wireless or wired, fiber, etc. So Otel took the opportunity to use that license and establish themselves into the market and fill in the gaps where the South African consumer were missing.
Now, okay, what exactly do you provide? Do you provide a landline?
We provide a digital telephone service.
Okay.
In the old days, the telephones were being used by copper. Currently, actually, still. Telkom at the moment has got a telephone technology called PSTN, which uses old switches. So what Otel does is that we have gone one step further. We are providing a digital telephony network which runs over high-speed broadband internet. This telephony network is also known as VoIP, Voice over IP.
What does that do, though? What makes it different? How does it work?
In the old days, they had manual switches at Telkom, actually currently as well. They've, if somebody wants to call to a number, it goes onto a switch, and that switch will manually connect through to another switch and go onto the recipient of the call. Voice over IP works everything on IP base, which is converging to IT, into information technology. We have a digital switch at a server room, and when a customer picks up the phone, he will dial to a number which is provided to us from ICASA, and that number will route over digitally via the internet to a server room, and that server room will grab that number and route it to the recipient's number. Now,
what does that mean? How many people can actually be on Otel, for example? I mean, I'm sensing here that you can. It needs then a lot of infrastructure in terms of the number of people. If you've got 15,000 people who want to be on, then you need those. How does it work? Do you need the physical network there?
Yes. Everything needs network in telecommunications, but what we've done is that we've taken a page out of Telkom's and Neotel's book. Wherever they have failed, we are learning from their mistakes, and we ensuring that we do not make the same mistakes. For example, Telkom at the moment, they are dealing directly between them and the end user. They do everything from installing a line to having a fleet of vehicles to having huge staff base and so on. All that takes money, and obviously the prices are according to that because they've got to maintain that. We have gone into something called an agent model. Also, Telkom over the years, they have got an ADSL connectivity, which I think was established in 2003 from Telkom. And Vodacom has been going around with 3G, 3.6 megabytes wireless over GSM. So what we've decided to do is go into partnership with Vodacom and Telkom, and we are using their 3G Vodacom's 3G network and Vodacom's ADSL network to run our infrastructure onto that.
Now, you're saying that you can provide an ADSL line and a 3G card for less than $10 in a country where chatting to loved ones is always so expensive. How do you do that?
$10 is the rental that they have to pay in order to get access to the service. Thereafter, they have to pay for the call rates. Luckily, our call rates are considerably cheaper than the rest of them. For example, if you dial from a Vodacom line on pay-as-you-go to another network, it would cost you close to R2. We can come down to about R1.65, which is considerably cheaper than Vodacom. On Telkom, if you pick up the phone and you dial to a cellular provider, it's going to cost you closer to R2 as well. And once again, we come closer at R1.65.
Why is it that telephone usage or making a call in South Africa is so expensive?
Telkom has laid out a lot of money for the infrastructure. In fact, if you look at Neotel being the new infrastructure provider, I read last that they have now borrowed close to 8 billion rands in order to lay out the infrastructure. Now, they have to recuperate all that money back. And in order to do that is by making profit. And profit obviously is quite high. Now, Otel is not doing that. We're not laying any infrastructure. We're using the current infrastructure already available. We're going to wholesale agreements with Telkom and Vodacom by them providing us very, very low pricing in bulk.
Now, does this apply to people who are making a phone call? If I'm making a phone call from South Africa and I want to phone somebody who's in Zambia, yes, does the same still apply?
We do have wholesale agreements with other carriers. For example, if you're calling to Zambia, you will definitely pay a much cheaper call rate than using Vodacom or Telkom or any other service provider through Otel.
Does that mean somebody who's calling from Zambia, calling that an Otel line,
yes, will
actually be also getting cheaper rates?
No. If somebody from Zambia calling to Otel, he's calling on behalf of his carrier, through his carrier, not through an Otel carrier.
Okay. But now how sure are we that these rates are not necessarily just introduction rates and we're saying, okay, this is Otel and we're giving you these rates. A year down the line, we've got the business, we up our gains.
We have to remain competitive. At the moment, Telkom has got a lot of clientele. They virtually own the whole market. Vodacom as well, they've got quite a bit of clientele. We need to remain competitive, and the only way for somebody to move over to Otel will be if we can save them 20% or 25% of their phone bill.
And that's going to be and that's going to be consistent over the years.
That is our market strategy, which will always be there.
All right, thank you very much for talking to us, Mr. Mohammed Patel, Otel CEO. Thank you for your time here in Africa. Let's take a look at what made headlines on this day in history, and when we come back after a short one, we'll give you more of Rendezvous Africa. Write to us on sni@sabc.co.za. Don't go away.
On the 9th of March in 1905, acting governor